Hey guys, Ollie here from Local Knowledge, and it's that time of year again. Right now it's early June, the fish are just starting to show up. They're more of a nighttime mode thing right now, but I want to be ready for when this stuff goes off during the daytime. So as part of my pregame routine, I'm going over every piece of tackle that I took off the boat, and I'm re-rigging, I'm cleaning up, I'm verifying everything is good, I'm putting on new wind-ons, and as a part of that, spreader bars. Now, we don't like to troll too much, but sometimes it's a necessity. That's the only thing they want to eat, but we do troll a lot when we're scanning around. First, get in the area. I'm going to have the guys put back like a spreader bar or a high-speed trolling lure like the Sarda. But let's talk about spreader bars right now. These were really, really good towards the middle end of last season, and they caught fish when we otherwise couldn't get them to eat a kite bait or whatever. These bars are bitchin'. These are from Chatter Lures. They call them the Wingman, and they're just the most refined side tracking spreader bar I've ever seen. You can see it has a keel on it. It says starboard on it, so you put this out on the starboard side of the boat, and this thing will actually track way outside your wake, 40, 50 feet outside of your wake, and it'll give you a wider presentation, allowing you to run a couple other lures down the middle, or just get the lure over in clean water. As I've been using these, we do have a lot of bycatch or stuff try to eat these bars. Last year, a couple of times, we had some giant mako sharks come up and absolutely devastate these things, get wrapped up in it, tear it to bits. That's not the norm, but the normal wear and tear on this leader from bites, from another issue we have is striped marlin. Had a couple striped marlin come up and whack the heck out of these things, and you can see they shred the leader. Now this leader is plenty strong. It's probably not gonna break, but I'm not putting that out, another season, and I'm not confident in it, and the bottom line for me is always confidence. So what I'm gonna show you how to do is just how to quickly re-rig this stuff. Now these other baits on here, I don't really worry about as much because they're just basically dangling behind the bar, doing their thing. They're not gonna have that tension of pulling on a bigger fish like the main lead with what we call the stinger on it will. So this is real simple. I'm just gonna unclip my stinger bait from my bar, kind of throw these guys out of the way. And step one is I want to measure the length of this leader. Grab my trusty Seaguar. This is Blue Label 300 pound. 300 is heavier than what I would normally use for, rigging lures and stuff, but this is a real short distance, so the pliability doesn't matter too much, and I do want to be ready for that bigger fish, or if a shark comes by and chomps on it, I would love to get my stuff back. Gonna use the trick that we've shown on here, just hold the little twisties, strip off about 6 feet. All right, let's see how this matches up to what we got. All right. So about that much, I'm gonna leave like 2 or 3 extra inches so that we can crimp and not lose any length. Not super important to be exactly the same length, but you wanna try to keep it close for sure. Okay, now you can see with one end, it's really simple. It's just got a piece of chafe gear and a crimp. On the other side, we have got rigging beads. So these rigging beads are actually great. They're cheap. You can get them on Amazon, tackle store, whatever. But if you do get bit by something toothy, they do give you a really good element of protection against a bite off. I like using them. The other way to do it is, they also act as a spacer to keep the lure away from the hook. You always want your hook kind of right at the edge of the skirt there, like they've rigged this from the factory, just about perfect. I want to also use this as a spacer that spaces the lure off. So the right amount of rigging beads can be critical. Now, if I'm gonna take this stuff, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the leader right here, about in the middle. Pull this out. We can pretty much discard this. This is junk now. Okay, here's our brand new section of 300. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a crimp on it. I've got them labeled here on my box. It should be about this one. Piece of chafe tube. Get this at any tackle store as well, or online. We are going to reuse the same hook because I'm cheap, and this is a good heavy duty stainless steel VMC. Okay, so this is also the same pretty much process for rigging any marlin lure. Go ahead, put this through. I'm gonna pull everything tight. Be careful not to pull that hook into your hand. Now you can see, got the hook, got the right size chafing gear, everything's free swinging. I'm gonna go ahead and make my crimps. Double check the size of the crimp. This is a 2mm. So I'm gonna use the second to the last hole, which is up to 2mm. I crimp it once in the middle, and then I flip the crimp and do the two ends. The reason I do that is when you crimp, it'll actually bend that crimp a little bit, and if you offset it by flipping it over, you get a nice straight crimp. You don't have to go crazy hard on this stuff. It's all built into the mechanics of the crimper. You'll see now I've got a really nice straight crimp. I am gonna go ahead and cut this little tag end off. I do burn it sometimes, makes me feel better about it. Okay, so now you've got the basis of your leader. Nice 300-pound Seaguar Blue. This stuff is tough as nails, super chew-proof. Then I'm gonna take all of these little beads and I'm gonna thread them on here. This is the part that actually takes a minute. If you look at the beads, they're kind of made to interlock into each other at like almost a 90-degree angle. And that's what makes them come down over the bite part of the leader, you know, behind the head of the lure, and gives you that extra element of protection. If you've got wahoo in your area, or like Rush has, you know, a lot of toothy fish, king mackerel, stuff like that, this will give you extra protection. For us out here west, it's really the small makos wanting to come up and get a free meal. They like to eat trolling lures sometimes, and that has been the case lately. We've had a lot of them around. Okay, now got all my beads on, starting to take shape. Next thing I'm gonna do, thread my lure on. We're gonna do this backwards through the bottom of the head. This is just a tuna clone that comes with the spreader bar. They absolutely work just fine. You can also build other leaders with other stinger baits and have them ready at this length and just snap them in, snap them out. If the fish is in a different mood, they're eating a bigger bait, put a bigger chaser on, whatever. You can really use this part to match the hatch, while the front part of the bar, that's really just the noisemaker and the attractant. You can always swap these out for whatever mood you're in or whatever mood the fish are in. Okay, so we're almost there. I'm gonna take another crimp, slide it on my line, take another piece of chafe gear, pull everything tight, got a nice loop, plenty of room there for the swivel to grab. Again, crimp it right in the middle of the crimp, flip it over. You always want to be careful to leave about a 1/16 of an inch of crimp hanging out the side of the crimpers so that you aren't crimping the very edge of the crimp down into it. You actually want to flare out and away. And you can see there, I got a flare connection at both sides. I got a nice big loop. This thing is ready to roll. So you can see my bait here has been re-rigged. Got my loop on the other end. I'm just gonna snap this back into the bar and you are ready to fish again. As a part of this routine, I will go through and kind of inspect these guys, you know, make sure everything's good. Just give them a tug. Again, they don't take the same pressure load as the rest of the bar. The stinger rig is really gonna take all of the heat of it, and that's why I do wanna check up here around the bird. Everything looks really good. And if I need to, I will just cut and follow what they've done here in order to re-rig it. But it looks like I'm in pretty good shape. This stuff is all held up pretty dang well. Good up here, no chomping, no nothing. So that's it. This spreader bar is ready to go back into the arsenal for this season. Ready to rock, probably rigged with a little bit heavier than it came with from the factory, but it gives me a little bit more confidence in case I get that 350-pound bluefin or a big mako or a big marlin or something eats it. I'm still in the game, hopefully not gonna lose any gear. That's it. If you like this video, please give us a follow and also leave us a comment. Let us know what you wanna see next. Your comments are what shape these videos and we love to hear from you. Thanks so much for watching.